The deal. The champagne glass shattered against marble, spraying crystal fragments across Victoria Sterling's designer heels. Below her family's penthouse balcony, Manhattan glittered like a million broken promises. 3 weeks. Her stepmother's voice sliced through the night air, sharp as winter glass. Marcus Rothschild expects his bride. Victoria's stomach twisted. 60 years old, 3 ex-wives, eyes that stripped women bare with a single glance. Her father had sold her like livestock to secure a merger, and Cassandra stood there smiling about it. I won't do it. Then find another buyer, darling. Cassandra's heels clicked away. But who would want a wild, uncontrollable girl like you? The words burned like acid. Victoria pulled out her phone with shaking fingers, scrolling past 17 missed calls from tabloid reporters. Her thumb hovered over a contact she'd never dared to use. Nathan Cross, the tech billionaire who built an empire from nothing and trusted absolutely no one. She pressed call before fear could stop her. He answered on the second ring. Victoria Sterling. To what do I owe this unexpected pleasure? His voice was cold steel wrapped in velvet. She'd met him once at a charity auction. Felt the dangerous intelligence in those dark eyes, as he'd watched her like a predator studying prey. I need to meet you. Tonight. It's urgent. Silence stretched between them, heavy with calculation. The Meridian Club, 1 hour. Come alone. The line went dead. Nathan Cross swirled whiskey in his glass, watching Victoria Sterling walk through the private lounge like she owned it. Red dress, defiant eyes, the kind of beautiful that had destroyed lesser men. 3 years ago, his fiancée had smiled while she kissed him, then sold his company's secrets to his biggest rival. Love was a vulnerability he'd surgically removed from his life. You're desperate. He didn't ask, he stated. Victoria sat across from him, spine straight despite the tremor in her hands. My father arranged my marriage to Marcus Rothschild. The wedding is in 3 weeks. And you want what? Money to run away? No, her jaw set. I want you to marry me instead. Nathan's laugh was dark. You're insane. Think about it. She leaned forward, urgency bleeding through her composed mask. You need positive press after the Tecton merger fell through. Everyone thinks you're a heartless machine. Marrying someone like me, saving me from a predatory arrangement, it makes you look human, heroic even. And what do you get? Freedom from Marcus Rothschild. A marriage in name only. We play the part for a year, then divorce quietly. No strings, no emotions. Pure business. Nathan studied her, the desperation hiding behind bravado, the intelligence sharp enough to cut. She was dangerous in ways she didn't even understand yet. You're asking me to trust you. I'm asking you to help me survive. The distinction mattered. He stood buttoning his jacket. I'll have my lawyers draft a contract. Every detail specified, every contingency covered. You break the terms, you lose everything. Victoria rose, extending her hand. Deal. Her palm was warm against his. For a fraction of a second, something flickered in her eyes. Vulnerability, maybe, or calculation. One more thing. Nathan's grip tightened. My ex-fiancé destroyed me with betrayal. If you ever lie to me, if you ever try to use this arrangement to hurt me, I will ruin you so thoroughly that no one will remember your name. Do we understand each other? Perfectly. He released her hand, already regretting this decision. Welcome to the game, Victoria. Try not to lose. She walked away, heels clicking against marble. Nathan returned to his whiskey, ignoring the warning bells screaming in his skull. Across the lounge, hidden behind a column of shadow, someone lifted a phone and took a photograph. The flash went unnoticed. The betrayal had already begun, the facade. The marriage happened in a courthouse with no flowers and fewer words. Nathan's signature was ice. Victoria's hand trembled only once. Smile, he murmured as cameras flashed outside. You're supposed to be in love. She turned to him, manufactured adoration in her eyes. And you're supposed to be capable of it. His arm around her waist tightened. To the world, it looked protective. She felt the warning. Nathan's penthouse occupied the top 3 floors of a building that scraped clouds. Glass walls, minimalist furniture, everything cold and controlled, just like him. Your room is the east wing. He gestured down a hallway of polished concrete. My lawyers will send the contract revisions tonight. Read them carefully. Where's your room? Why? Planning to visit. Heat crawled up her neck. planning to avoid it. Something flickered across his face. Almost amusement. Almost human. Then the mask returned. Good. Keep it that way. 3 weeks into their arrangement, Victoria stood in Nathan's home office doorway, watching him work. His fingers flew across keyboards, 3 monitors glowing blue in the darkness. He hadn't slept in 48 hours. She'd been counting. You'll burn out. I don't burn out. He didn't look up. I optimize. You're not a machine. No? Finally, those dark eyes met hers. What am I then, Victoria? In your expert opinion? She walked closer, drawn by something she couldn't name. Danger, maybe. Or recognition. You're someone who's afraid to feel anything real because the last time you did, it destroyed you. His jaw tightened. Careful, your psychology degree from Google is showing. Juliet Morrison. The name fell between them like a grenade. Your ex-fiancée. She sold your secrets to Tecton Industries. That's why you built all of this. She gestured at his empire of glass and steel, armor disguised as ambition. Nathan stood slowly, predatory grace in every movement. You've been researching me. You researched me. That was business. So is this. But her voice wavered. They stood too close now, close enough that she could smell his cologne, cedar and danger. Why do you care if I sleep, Victoria? I don't. Liar. The word hit like a physical touch. His hand caught her chin, tilting her face into the monitor's glow. Here's the truth about our arrangement. You use me to escape your cage. I use you to improve my public image. Anything beyond that is weakness, and I don't do weak. Neither do I. Then we understand each other. But his thumb traced her jawline once before he released her, and Victoria felt the gesture burn long after she left his office. The charity gala was Manhattan's social event of the season. Every elite player attended, circling each other like sharks. Victoria wore sapphire silk that matched her eyes. Nathan's hand rested on her lower back, proprietary and warm. They played their parts flawlessly. The devoted newlyweds, the fairy tale. You're good at this, he murmured as they danced. At pretending? At making me almost believe it. Her breath caught. The ballroom spun gold and crystal around them, but she only saw his face, the mask cracking at the edges. Nathan. Mr. Cross. A woman's voice cut through the moment like a blade. They turned. Victoria felt Nathan's entire body go rigid. The woman was stunning. Dark hair, red lips, eyes that held intimate knowledge. Juliet. Nathan's voice could have frozen fire. Congratulations on your marriage. Juliet's smile was poison honey. I had to see it for myself. Nathan Cross domesticated. Who would have thought? What do you want? Just to catch up. Juliet's gaze slid to Victoria, and to meet the woman who succeeded where I failed. Tell me, dear, has he told you about our history? Every word. Victoria stepped closer to Nathan. Including the part where you betrayed him. Juliet laughed. Betrayed? Is that what he calls it? Did he tell you why I did it? Nathan's hand gripped Victoria's. We're leaving. Running away? Juliet called after them. How unlike you, Nathan. Or maybe you're afraid she'll learn the truth. They made it to Nathan's car before Victoria exploded. What truth? What is she talking about? Nothing. She's manipulating you. Then tell me what happened. Nathan's hands white-knuckled the steering wheel. I built my first company with everything I had. Every dollar, every hour. Juliet said she loved me, that she believed in us. Then she took my algorithms, my designs, my trust, and sold them to my competitor. Do you know what that did to me? It made you afraid. It made me smart. No. Victoria touched his face, forcing him to look at her. It made you alone. For one heartbeat, his mask shattered. She saw the man beneath the armor, wounded, wanting, human. Then his phone buzzed. The message contained a single photo. Nathan and Victoria at the Meridian Club the night they made their deal. Below it, a caption. How much did she pay you to marry her, Cross? The truth comes out Monday. Victoria's blood turned to ice. Nathan, I swear I didn't. Don't. His voice was dead. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying. Someone leaked this. Someone who knew about our meeting. Who was it, Victoria? Who did you tell? No one. I came alone. He looked at her with eyes full of winter. You're exactly like her. I should have known. The words hit like bullets. Victoria felt something inside her crack. You don't mean that. Get out of my car. Nathan, get out. She stumbled onto the Manhattan sidewalk, sapphire dress and shattered illusions. Nathan's car disappeared into traffic, leaving her standing in the wreckage of something that was never supposed to be real. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. You should have stayed in your cage, little bird. Now everyone burns. The Betrayal Victoria's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Tabloid headlines screamed across every screen in Manhattan. Billionaire's bride a fraud? Victoria Sterling's desperate marriage deal exposed. She stood in Nathan's penthouse, watching the city wake to her destruction. He hadn't come home, hadn't answered her calls. The contract between them felt like ashes in her hands. The door slammed open. Nathan entered like a storm, eyes blazing. Explain. One word. Arctic cold. I can't. Her voice broke. I don't know who leaked it. Try harder. I came alone that night. I told no one. Then how? He threw his phone at her. The screen showed transaction records. How did someone access my private club's security footage? How did they get photos of us from angles the club doesn't even have cameras? Victoria scrolled through the evidence, ice spreading through her veins. Nathan, this looks like you set me up from the beginning. No. My company's stock dropped 18% this morning. 18% because the world thinks I'm a fool who got manipulated by a desperate socialite. Do you have any idea what you've cost me? I didn't do this! Desperation clawed at her throat. Please, you have to believe me. Belief is what got me destroyed last time. He moved closer, dangerous and cold. I told you what would happen if you betrayed me. I'm not her. I'm not Juliet, aren't you? His hand caught her wrist, grip iron. You both smiled while you lied. You both made me think I could trust someone. You're exactly the same. If I'm the same, then why does it hurt you this much? The question landed like a bomb. Nathan's mask cracked, revealing something raw underneath. Pain, real and visceral. It doesn't. Liar. He released her abruptly. Get out of my home. Nathan, please. You have 1 hour to pack. After that, security will remove you. Victoria's world tilted. Where am I supposed to go? My father disowned me when we married. Marcus Rothschild is still waiting. If you throw me out, I have nowhere. That's not my problem anymore. Yes, it is. Tears burned her eyes. She hated them. Hated the weakness. You made a deal with me. You signed a contract. For better or worse, remember? The contract is void. My lawyers are already filing annulment papers. So that's it? You're just going to abandon me because someone is setting us up? I'm protecting what's mine. I thought I was yours. The words exploded from her chest, raw and unfiltered. Silence crashed between them. Nathan stared at her like she'd just spoken a foreign language. Victoria's hand flew to her mouth, horrified at what she'd admitted. You were never mine, Nathan said slowly. This was business. You made that clear. Things changed. No, things got exposed. Her phone buzzed. Another message. She looked down at the screen and felt the floor drop beneath her feet. Cassandra Sterling wants to meet. Rooftop of the Ashford Hotel. Noon. Come alone or everyone learns the truth about what you did to your mother. Victoria's face went white. Nathan saw it. What is it? She couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. Her mother. The accident. The secret she'd buried so deep that not even God could find it. Victoria, what's in that message? I have to go. Where? It doesn't matter. She grabbed her coat. You've already decided I'm guilty? Tell me what's happening. Why? So you can use it against me too? She headed for the door, then stopped. Turned. You want to know the difference between me and Juliet? When I leave, it's going to hurt you, and that terrifies you more than any betrayal ever could. She left before he could respond. The Ashford Hotel's rooftop was glass and steel against a gray sky. Cassandra Sterling stood at the edge, designer coat whipping in the wind. Hello, Victoria. What do you want? Cassandra turned. Her smile was a knife. I want you to remember who you really are. The girl who killed her own mother. That was an accident, was it? Cassandra pulled out her phone. I have the police reports your father buried. The toxicology results, the brake fluid analysis, all of it proves you tampered with her car the night before the accident. Victoria's world spun. That's not true. You were 16 and angry. Your mother had just told you she was sending you to boarding school in Switzerland. You wanted to scare her. Make her late for her meeting. Except you didn't know enough about cars, did you? You cut the wrong line. No. Victoria backed away. No, that's not what happened. The truth is subjective, dear. Cassandra's eyes glittered. I can make people believe anything with the right evidence. Imagine the headlines. Billionaire's bride is secret killer. Victoria Sterling murdered her own mother. Why are you doing this? Because you embarrassed this family by running from Marcus Rothschild. Because your father's merger collapsed. Because everything would have been fine if you'd just been obedient. Cassandra stepped closer. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to divorce Nathan Cross. You're going to publicly admit you manipulated him for his money. And then you're going to disappear. Quietly. Permanently. And if I don't? Then I destroy Nathan Cross completely. I leak not just your fake marriage deal, but information that will tank his company forever. And I send these reports to every news outlet in the country. Your choice, Victoria. Save yourself and ruin him, or save him and lose everything. Victoria felt the trap close around her. Either way, someone she cared about would be destroyed. She cared about Nathan. When had that happened? I need time to think. You have until midnight. Cassandra walked past her. Choose wisely. Though we both know you've never been good at making the right choices. Victoria stood alone on the rooftop, wind cutting through her coat. Below, Manhattan sprawled indifferent and infinite. Somewhere in that city, Nathan Cross was burning down everything they'd built, and she was the only one who could save him, by destroying herself. Her phone rang. Nathan's number. She answered. I found something. His voice was different. Urgent. Almost desperate. Victoria, I was wrong. The leak didn't come from you. It came from inside my own company. Someone on my security team was paid to... Nathan, stop. What? No, listen to me. Someone's setting both of us up. We need to figure out who. I lied. The words tasted like poison. About everything. The marriage, the feelings, all of it. I used you, Nathan. Just like Juliet did. Silence. Then, you're lying right now? Tears streamed down her face. I needed your money and your name. You were easy to manipulate. Easier than I expected. Victoria, whatever is happening, we can fix it together. There's no together. There never was. Her voice shattered. Sign the annulment papers. Forget you ever met me. You were right about me from the beginning. She hung up, turned off her phone, and made her choice. By midnight, Victoria Sterling would cease to exist. The sacrifice Nathan Cross tore through Manhattan like a man possessed. Victoria's phone went straight to voicemail. Her friends hadn't seen her. Every lead turned to smoke. She's going to do something stupid, he told Benjamin over the phone. I can feel it. What makes you so sure? Because I know what goodbye sounds like. He'd heard it in her voice. The finality, the resignation. Someone had gotten to her, and she was protecting him the only way she knew how, by sacrificing herself. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. A video file. Nathan's hand shook as he pressed play. The footage showed Victoria at 16, crying in a garage, working on a car's brake lines with trembling hands. The timestamp read, the night before her mother's fatal accident. Then the video cut to recent footage. Cassandra Sterling on the Ashford Hotel rooftop. Victoria's face white with horror. The audio was crystal clear. Nathan listened to every word. The blackmail. The impossible choice. The truth about Victoria's mother. Rage turned his vision red. He made 3 phone calls. Within an hour, he had the full story. Victoria's mother had been an alcoholic. The brake line tampering was staged by Cassandra years ago, doctored evidence to create leverage. The real cause of the accident was drunk driving, covered up by Victoria's father to preserve the family reputation. Victoria had believed she was a murderer for 8 years, and now Cassandra was using that manufactured guilt to destroy her. Nathan checked his watch. 11:30. 30 minutes until Cassandra's deadline. He had to find Victoria before she did something irreversible. Victoria stood in Nathan's office, signing the confession Cassandra had drafted. Every word was a lie. Every sentence burned. I, Victoria Sterling, admit to manipulating Nathan Cross into marriage for financial gain. Our relationship was never real. I used his trust to advance my own interests. Her signature looked like a stranger's handwriting. Cassandra stood behind her, victorious. "Smart girl. I'll make sure this reaches the press by morning. Nathan's reputation will recover. You'll disappear. Everyone wins. Except me. You were never supposed to win, darling. You were supposed to be obedient." Victoria folded the confession, her hand steady despite the hurricane in her chest. "I want my mother's real autopsy report. The one that shows the alcohol in her system. The truth my father buried." Cassandra's smile faltered. "How do you—" "I'm not stupid. I spent 8 years believing I killed her. But brake lines don't fail the way that car did. And you made one mistake. You showed me the police reports. The real ones would have included toxicology showing her blood alcohol level. Yours didn't. It doesn't matter what you know. It does if I tell Nathan everything before you leak this confession." They stared at each other, two women playing chess with lives. "You're bluffing," Cassandra said. "You wouldn't risk his company. Try me." The door exploded open. Nathan stood there like an avenging angel, Benjamin Hayes behind him with a recording device. "I already know everything," Nathan said, his voice deadly calm. "And we've been recording this entire conversation." Cassandra's face drained of color. "Nathan, I can explain. Explain how you've been blackmailing my wife with fabricated evidence. Explain how you orchestrated the leak to destroy both of us. Explain how you've been working with Marcus Rothschild this entire time to ensure Victoria had nowhere to run. You can't prove I have 12 years of financial records showing payments from Rothschild to you. I have security footage from the Meridian Club showing your assistant taking photos of Victoria and me the night we made our deal. I have testimony from the mechanic who faked the brake line tampering on your orders." Nathan stepped closer. "I have everything." Cassandra backed toward the window. "If you expose me, I'll take your wife down with me." "No," Victoria said quietly. "You won't." She held up her phone. On the screen was a live video feed. Every news outlet in New York, every social media platform. The confession Cassandra had forced her to sign, torn in half, and her own statement. "My name is Victoria Sterling, and for 8 years I believed I killed my mother. Tonight I learned the truth. My stepmother, Cassandra Sterling, manufactured evidence to control me. She blackmailed me into walking away from my husband. She worked with Marcus Rothschild to trap me in an arranged marriage. And she's been manipulating my family for over a decade." The video had been streaming for 5 minutes. Millions of views already. Cassandra lunged for Victoria's phone. Nathan caught her wrist. "It's over," he said. "The police are downstairs. You can walk out with dignity, or I can have them drag you." Cassandra's mask finally shattered. She looked at Victoria with pure hatred. "You stupid girl! You've destroyed everything!" "No," Victoria said. "I've freed everyone." Security escorted Cassandra out. Benjamin followed, already coordinating with lawyers. Nathan and Victoria stood alone in the office, surrounded by the wreckage of their war. "You were going to disappear," Nathan said. "Not a question. I was going to save you. By destroying yourself? I didn't have another choice." "You did." He crossed to her, cupping her face with both hands. "You could have trusted me." Tears spilled over. "You thought I betrayed you." "I was afraid." The admission cost him. "Afraid that if I let myself care about you, you'd ruin me like Juliet did. So I pushed you away before you could get close enough to matter." "Do I matter?" "You terrify me." His thumb traced her cheekbone. "Because somewhere between the fake smiles and the business deal, you became real. You became mine. And the thought of losing you makes me understand why people do insane things. Like charging through Manhattan at midnight to save someone. Like falling in love with someone they were supposed to hate." Victoria's breath caught. "Nathan, I love you." The words fell between them like a benediction. "I love your defiance and your courage. I love how you fight even when you're terrified. I love how you chose to sacrifice yourself to protect me, even though I didn't deserve it. You deserve everything. Then give me a chance." His forehead touched hers. "A real chance. No contracts, no business deals. Just us. I don't know how to do real. Neither do I." He smiled and it transformed his face. "We'll figure it out together." Victoria kissed him then. Soft and desperate and achingly real. He tasted like midnight and second chances. Like coming home. When they broke apart, she was crying. "I love you too." God help me. I love you so much it hurts. Good. He pulled her close. Because you're stuck with me now. For real this time. No contract? No contract. Just this. And for the first time since her mother died, Victoria Sterling felt free. The ending. 6 months later, Victoria stood on the same penthouse balcony where her nightmare had begun. But this time, Nathan's arms wrapped around her from behind, solid and warm. "Penny for your thoughts," he murmured against her hair. "Just thinking about how much has changed." Cassandra was in prison, convicted of blackmail and fraud. Marcus Rothschild's predatory business practices had been exposed, his empire crumbling. Victoria's father had reached out, attempting reconciliation. She'd told him she needed time. Maybe someday, not yet. Nathan's company had not only recovered but thrived. Turns out, people loved a good redemption story. The cold tech billionaire who learned to love. The rebellious heiress who saved herself. The truth was messier than headlines could capture. They fought sometimes, both too stubborn and too scarred to make love easy. But they were learning, growing, healing together. "I have something for you," Nathan said, turning her to face him. He held out a small box. Not a ring box, something different. Victoria opened it. Inside was a key. "It's to a townhouse in Brooklyn," Nathan explained. "Your name only. No contracts. No conditions. I know you gave up your freedom once to escape your family. I never want you to feel trapped again. Not even by me." Her throat tightened. "Nathan, if you ever want to leave, you can. If you ever need space, it's yours. I'm not trying to cage you. I'm trying to give you wings." Victoria looked at the key, then at the man who'd fought through his own demons to stand beside her. "You know what the funny thing is?" "What?" "For the first time in my life, I don't want to run." She closed his hand over the key. "Keep it, because I choose to stay. Not because I'm trapped. Not because I need you, but because I want you. Every broken, beautiful piece of you." Nathan's smile was sunrise after a long night. "You know what we forgot to do?" "What?" "Actually get married. The real way, not in a courthouse with lawyers present. Not as a business deal." Victoria laughed. "Are you proposing, Mr. Cross?" "I'm negotiating, Mrs. Cross." He pulled her closer. "I'll offer you everything I have. My trust, my heart, my future. In exchange, you offer me the same. No contracts, no exit clauses, just forever." "That's a terrible business deal." "The best ones always are." She kissed him then, tasting joy and promise and second chances. When they broke apart, Manhattan glittered below them. Not broken promises anymore. Infinite possibilities. "So is that a yes?" Nathan asked. "That's a yes. To all of it. Forever. Forever's a long time." "Good." Victoria smiled against his lips. "I have a lot of living to make up for." They married again in spring. Small ceremony, real vows. No photographers except the ones they chose. Benjamin Hayes stood as Nathan's best man. Victoria's college roommate flew in from London to stand beside her. When Nathan slipped the ring on her finger, his hand didn't shake. When Victoria said "I do," she meant it with every fractured piece of her soul. "I love you," he whispered, as they were pronounced husband and wife for the second time. "This time I'm not afraid to say it. I love you too." She touched his face, memorizing the moment. "And I'm not afraid to stay." Their first dance wasn't perfect. Nathan stepped on her foot. Victoria laughed so hard she snorted. It was messy and real and absolutely theirs. Later, as guests mingled and champagne flowed, Victoria found herself on another balcony. Different building, different life, same city stretching endlessly before her. Nathan appeared beside her, jacket discarded, tie loosened. "Déjà vu?" "The good kind." She leaned into him. "I keep thinking about that night I called you. How desperate I was, how certain I was that you were my only option. Regrets? Not a single one." She turned to face him. "You know what I realized? I didn't need you to save me. I needed someone to believe I could save myself. And you did. Even when you were angry. Even when you thought I'd betrayed you. Some part of you still believed in me. You made it easy." His hand found hers. "You're the strongest person I know, Victoria. You survived a family that tried to break you. You survived guilt that wasn't yours to carry. You survived me at my worst. We survived each other." She smiled. "That's the miracle. Two broken people who refused to stay broken. Nathan pulled her close, swaying to music that drifted from inside. What do you want, Victoria Sterling Cross? Now that you have your freedom, what do you want to do with it? She thought about the question. Really thought. For so long, freedom had meant escape, running from her father, from expectations, from pain. But standing here in Nathan's arms, she understood something fundamental had shifted. Freedom wasn't about running anymore. It was about choosing. I want to help other people trapped like I was, she said. Women in arranged marriages, kids being controlled by toxic families. I want to use my story, our story, to show them there's a way out. You want to start a foundation. Is that crazy? It's perfect. He kissed her forehead. I'll fund it. Whatever you need. Nathan, no. I don't want your money. I want to build it myself. He pulled back, studying her face, then nodded. Okay, build it yourself. I'll just be here cheering you on. And occasionally offering unsolicited business advice? Obviously, I'm still a tech billionaire. It's genetically impossible for me not to optimize things. Victoria laughed, the sound free and genuine. This was her life now. Real fights and real laughter. Real love that didn't come with conditions. Benjamin appeared at the balcony door. Sorry to interrupt, but there's someone here to see Victoria. She exchanged a glance with Nathan, then followed Benjamin inside. A woman waited near the entrance. Older, well-dressed, nervous. I'm sorry to crash your wedding, the woman said. But I saw your story on the news, about Cassandra and the blackmail, and I had to tell you something. Victoria's chest tightened. What? I was your mother's best friend. I was there the night of the accident. Your mother called me before she got in that car. She was drunk, Victoria. She'd been drinking all day because your father had just told her he wanted a divorce. She got behind the wheel knowing she shouldn't have. It wasn't your fault. It was never your fault. The words hit like waves, washing away 8 years of guilt. Victoria felt Nathan's hand on her back, steadying her. Why didn't you say something before? Her voice cracked. Your father paid me to stay quiet. Said it would destroy you to know your mother chose to drive drunk. That it was kinder to let you believe it was a mechanical failure. Tears streamed down the woman's face. I've regretted it every day since. When I saw you on the news, saw what that guilt had done to you, I couldn't stay silent anymore. Victoria crossed to her, pulling her into a hug. Thank you for finally telling me the truth. The woman left, and Victoria stood in the middle of her wedding reception, feeling lighter than she had in years. Nathan wrapped his arms around her from behind. You okay? I'm free, she turned in his embrace. Really, truly free. For the first time since I was 16. What does that feel like? Like I can finally breathe. She kissed him softly. Like I can finally live. They returned to their guests, to the celebration of a love that had been forged in fire and emerged as something unbreakable. As the night wore on and the city lights sparkled below, Victoria realized something profound. She'd spent so long trying to escape her cage that she'd never stopped to imagine what she'd do once she was out. Now she knew. She'd build something beautiful from the ashes. She'd help others find their way to freedom. She'd love a man who'd learned to be vulnerable. She'd live boldly and unapologetically, and she'd never ever be afraid again. As midnight approached, Nathan led her back to the balcony one final time. The city sprawled before them, infinite and full of promise. Ready for the rest of our lives? He asked. Victoria looked at him. At the man who'd been her escape route and became her home. At the future stretching wide open before them. With you? Absolutely. They kissed as fireworks erupted over Manhattan, painting the sky in gold and silver. Two broken souls who'd found each other in the darkness and built their own light. The deal that started as business had become the greatest love story neither of them saw coming. And this time there was no contract, no expiration date, no fine print. Just two people choosing each other, over and over again, for the rest of their lives. The end.